A week or so ago, Sir Topham had announced that 4 engines were coming to Sodor. The first 2 were Flying Scotsman and Stepney. He never said who the other 2 were, and there was a reason why. James and Emily were about to find out that reason. They were at Vickerstown Station and they saw Sir Topham Hatt on the platform. "What are you doing here, sir?" Emily asked. "The other 2 engines are coming today, and they should be here any minute," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Come to think of it, sir, you never said who these 2 engines are," said James. "Who are they?" Sir Topham Hatt sighed. "I've been dreading to tell you engines this, but I guess I had to tell you sometime." But before he could say, a horn sounded in the distance. "Oh no," said James. "It can't be." But it was. D199 and D261 oiled along to the platform. "Hello, and welcome back to the railway," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Who are they?" Emily asked James. D199 heard this. "We're modern diesels. We're efficient and convenient. We're also clean and simple," added D261. "I believe your controller told you where you will be working on the railway while you're here," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Yes, indeed," they replied. "Very good. The point should be set to where you should be." And they set off. "They seem very humble," said Emily sarcastically. "You should have been here the last time they came to the railway," James replied. Since the 2 diesels didn't get along with steam engines, Sir Topham Hatt thought it'd be best if they worked with Boca while they were on the island. They mainly did shunting and pulled short-distance trains because they weren't trusted to do big jobs. Edward usually came to take the trucks from the yard that D199 and D261 were working at. Boca and Edward were good friends. They were having a conversation when Edward puffed away. D261 and D199 looked over at Boca. "Why does he pull big trains instead of us?" D261 asked. "What do you mean?" "Well," D199 said, "he's a steam engine. He's not as efficient as us diesels, and is sure to mess something up." Boca was annoyed. "Me and Edward have known each other for years, and he's one of the most useful engines I know. Who are you to say who's efficient and who's not? We're just saying that us diesels could probably do better work than that Edward engine. He's old and worn out. We're new and up to date," said D261. "Well, if you're so determined to do better work, why don't you zip it and actually start doing work?" "Whatever you say, but when the time comes, we're going to prove ourselves to be better." Boco hoped that time wouldn't come, but unfortunately, it did. Edward had something loose, and their crew had to call an inspector to come see what was wrong. The yard manager decided that either D199 or D261 should pull Edward's train. "It'll be a good way for them to get a good feel for the line," he insisted. He let D199 and D261 decide amongst themselves who got to pull the train. They got into an argument. "I heard you broke down last time you were here." "You did too." "Only because of that man's bowler hat." Eventually, they had one of the nearby workmen toss a coin to decide who got to pull the train. D199 won the toss. "Yes, take that, 261, he said. D261 said nothing. He just angrily stared at D199 as he set out to pull the train. The yard manager was telling D199 where to take the train, but he was so deep in thought, he didn't hear a single word he said. "I'll show the controller of this railway why he should get rid of those steam engines," he thought to himself. Then the guard blew his whistle, and D199 set off. When he was out on the line, he was eager to get to where he needed to go. Unfortunately, he didn't know where to go. "No need to worry," he thought. "This railway isn't as big as the one on the mainland. I'll be able to figure out where this train is supposed to be myself." But he couldn't, and eventually he ran out of fuel and had to stop. "Oh, bother." D261 was sent to get the train. "Way to show how great diesels are," he said. "If I didn't know better, I'd think you were trying to get us scrapped." "Oh, shut it. Just take the train already." So we put D199 out of the way and did just that. He was doing well. He actually knew where to go unlike D199. "I'll be able to make good time even after D199 was messing around. They'll have to get rid of the steam engines for sure." But of course he had to be thinking that as he passed a signal said it stopped. Henry was coming down the line. D261 didn't see him until he rounded the corner. "Watch out!" Henry whistled. A quick thinking signal and managed to switch the points to divert D261 into a siding. Luckily, he wasn't badly damaged, and neither were the trucks, but they became derailed on impact. By then, Edward had become repaired. He came with the breakdown train to get the trucks back on the rails. And then he took the train. Later, when they were back in the yard, they were cross. "I can't believe that Edward still ended up taking that train," said D199. "It's a shame. I guess we'll never get a chance to prove ourselves," added D261. Boko came up alongside them. "Don't you get it? You both had your chances. One messed up after another, and you blew it. But how could we be outshined by some worn-out steam engine? Because that worn-out steam engine is a hard worker and does its work with good intentions. Just because you're a diesel doesn't mean you're going to get the job automatically. Not to mention you only had one goal out of this, and that was to get rid of Edward. If you're going to do something for the wrong reasons, of course you're going to fail." And he crossly went to his shed. Of course the two diesels didn't think much of this, but they had a long night to think about it. Boko later on thought he might have been a little too harsh with them, but when it was time for them to leave, they went home wiser engines.